Ooh, that's the wrong screen. That happens every time. Good morning. Well, there's a lot of mic noise. Let me try and fix that. Oh, there's nothing I could do about the dog snoring, as usual. Alright. So, it's demo time. It's still demo time. It's been demo time. But over the weekend, my lovely wife gave me some very good inspiration. And I think I know what I'm doing now. I've got some motivation. No puppy cam today. Unless someone redeems the puppy cam, there will be no puppy cam. And it looks like we hit our follower goal off stream, which seems to happen. I tend to only get followers now when I raid. And we hit it, so next one, 100. That'll be a good one. So what are we doing today? Today, I'm going to start by working on a cutscene. A new cutscene, that is for the demo only. And I'm hoping that that helps inform every future demo, because I'm adding some features that were not included. Mainly putting NPCs in the demo or in the cutscenes, and also having them walk from place to place without me having to hand animate it. You know, before I made a couple of cutscenes and I wanted them to walk, I had to like put them into position, animate them to the spot, then set the animation to be walk, and then blend it into idle, and then just really nitpick and control every little motion they did. But I was like, that's dumb. I don't want to do that. So what I did was I found Unity's provided asset that's not built into Unity, but you have to download it off their asset store, where you can just put a location and say, go walk there. It's great. So now I got that working with the player, but the NPCs are a little complicated because sometimes they go off into a weird unloaded state and they're in the middle of something. You know, they have a schedule to keep. So now I have to figure out how to pause that schedule, bring them back to this plane of existence, have them do the cutscene, and then I haven't decided whether or not I want to just keep them exactly where they were, like where the cutscene ended. I want to keep them there, or send them back to wherever they were. I don't know yet. And I might decide that this is no good and I want to just instantiate a new version of that NPC. Just a cutscene special NPC that has nothing to do with the NPC living in the world. I think that's probably the smarter idea, but I didn't want like 2 versions of every NPC loaded, which I guess is not a huge deal, because I could destroy them as I don't need them anymore. Let's just see how this goes for a little bit, because it would be much more convenient if I only had one list of NPCs and I reused them over and over. I think I can get it clean. Alright, so basically the cutscene is, it's the 2 characters, the main character, whoever you are, and Eugene, the head of the town council. They're just walking along the road in front of the inn. Very simple. They have a short conversation. And then he gives you everything that the tutorial quests would give you. He gives you your starting tools. He gives you your resources so that you can build, and some decorations, and that's it. Just go. Just run. Do the building. Super fast. No introduction quest. Good morning, new friend. Thank you so much for responding. So basically it's not a dream anymore. Last week I was doing that dream thing, and yeah, Mike Lombardo had a good thought, or a good word of advice. That's, if I make it very whimsical, then I better make sure that the game itself is whimsical, and I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure how whimsical it will be. So I think having it be like a dream, it's not appropriate. Alright, so let me play this. I definitely have the NPCs walking along together. The thing I don't have is... Oh, actually, no, I took that out. So I need to put that back in. Before I had every NPC when a cutscene started going, "Hey, I'm in a cutscene, so let me spool up all of my animation functionality," but I only want to do the ones in the cutscene. Okay, so if e dot, I want one more public variable, is player. So the player and the NPCs both have the same script. It just like, excuse me, just activates their nav mesh controller so that the timelines can send them to places. And it'll also do some very rough property setting. Okay, so if we're the player, then always do this. So basically the cutscene sends an event saying, "Hey, cutscene started," and these are all the NPCs that are in the cutscene, so only activate these. And obviously the NPCs know who they are, so yeah, for each if NPC equals so bool found equals false, bool found equals true, if not found, return. Okay, so all we need to do now is add so I'm wondering, should I actually include the player in every cutscene? No. Sometimes the player is not included in a cutscene, so I do need that functionality too. So maybe I'll just throw a bool here. Excuse me, so sorry. Gotta drink that coffee. Necessary. Oh man, my apartment is an absolute disaster right now because we are pulling everything out of the closets, deep in our closets, and trying to get rid of it, declutter. And the act of decluttering is quite possibly the most cluttering thing you could do. I've got like 40 things listed on Craigslist and Nextdoor and Reddit and Poshmark, and oh my god, there's just sales happening everywhere. I've been to the post office at least At least like 8 times in the last week. I hate the post office. I don't think there is a more miserable place in the world than the post office. The little mailbox center next to, like near my house, that place is fine. It's just, it's like an independent place that will ship stuff if you have everything necessary. But if a company sends you like a QR code, and it's like, oh, USPS, they scan this QR code. It's so easy. You just go there with your box, and that's all you need. Yep, you don't understand. That means I have to actually go there. That QR code is not helpful. I'd rather go to the nice lady at the mailbox center. Mail event. All right, so yeah, I want to add a bool that's is player included. Okay. Time is at 6:44. I got up pretty early this morning. Daylight savings actually did a funny thing. It did a funny thing because I've been waking up at 5:30 just to start these streams, and now I'm at 4:30. 4:30 in the morning. Nobody should be waking up at 4:30 in the morning. Ever. Alright, so now I know if there's a player included. And I need to... add a bool here in the cutscene that tells me if the player's included. It's as simple as that. Great. So now I know if the player is included, and just need to respond. So if player end e.player included equals false, then nope. Okay. Excuse me. If is not player, then do all this junk. Okay, great. So, okay, let's just do a little test. Let's add Eugene to this demo. Oh, actually, let's not add him. Let's not even add the player. Let's just see if it... So if I run this, we should see Eugene and the player, I think, gliding with no animation. Like, that's going to be the problem, is that this scene won't activate them. I think it'll snap them to their starting positions, but it won't animate them. Okay. Let's just confirm that, because I haven't added them to the cutscene. Okay, so the player slides, Eugene doesn't. That means the player's nav mesh is active, but this scene is not turning on their animator. And the NPC is just like, I don't know what to do. But that's good. I expected it to not work. But now once I add Eugene, and I say, is player included? Yes. Excuse me. That should... That should work. Water. You know what's just as good as coffee? Water. Okay, we should have both characters now walking along. Oh no, it didn't play at all. I got a null reference exception. Because... Oh. It's because... Right, I didn't tell the player that they're the player yet. So, that makes sense. And I do that here. You're the player. Oh, and they don't have NPC properties, huh? Does that matter? If it's null, get the properties. But they never need it. Only NPCs need it. If it's null and not player, I'll just do that. So this is the easy part, unfortunately. Excuse me. The hard part is going to be putting the NPCs back in their unloaded state if they were in an unloaded state. So right now, Eugene, he immediately, once the game launches, he knows, hey, I gotta go to my house because that's where I start. And he warps there. And then, since the town's not loaded, he's like, oh, the town isn't loaded, that's where my house is, let me unload. So he goes to this unloaded state, which is 1,000 units up into the sky. And then the cutscene's like, whoa, 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 I need you, Eugene. You gotta come back down to Earth. You gotta be in this cutscene. Oh, that was weird. So it didn't even play again. Why? On start. Play once is not on. It should be playing again and again. But it didn't. And it threw no errors, which is unusual. Let's see. So the fade-in goes, that's fine. And this never turns on. That's weird. That's weird. Wouldn't be a coding stream if I didn't immediately run into annoying issues that stopped me. Oh, that's funny. So the game is paused. So something did happen. It's just... Oh, and it's throwing a weird... It's throwing an error here? Why is this... Force start cutscene. Can I do that? Oh, look at that. So it's saying that this camera doesn't exist. Like it deleted it. I do have a script that basically, when a cutscene is over, and it just deletes all of its children. Does a little cleanup. So it's... Maybe it's deleting instantly? Yeah, it's immediately deleting all of... It's immediately deleting everything. That's strange. I've never seen that bug before. That is a new bug. Brand spanking new bug. Destroy. Destroy cutscene. So destroy cutscene only happens. Oh. It happens on load if we've already played. And destroy if played. So I don't want to destroy if played. Wait, destroy if played. Ah, there it is. There it is. That's weird. I wonder why it wasn't doing that before. Maybe because I never let the cutscene finish? No, that's not it. Oh well. Problem solved, right? Let's see. Cutscene, please. There we go. Ooh, we got them walking. Good morning, new friend. Thank you so much for responding to my ad and joining the in-keep trial period. Okay. That is way better. Ooh, okay. We got new functionality. So now Eugene, the cutscene's over. Ooh, and he popped away. NASA creep. Good morning, Gonzi. What up, dweeb? What up, dweeb, to you as well. I've been watching a lot of The League lately. I've seen it already, so this is the second playthrough, and I gotta say, me and Andre have a lot have a lot in common. Good morning, fellas. I'm glad you're here. Makes me happy. He's moving to Japan too? No. He's just bald. Alright, so that was a success. Oh, but this Unity crashing is not a success. Oh no, what the hell? He was great in Best Week Ever. I have not seen Best Week Ever. I actually wasn't... I was only introduced to Paul Scheer. That's his name, right? Paul Scheer. From his podcast, How Did This Get Made? And then started watching The League. And then started hearing his voice in all these, cartoons. And then he just showed up everywhere, and this sucks. Why? So, progressive CPU light mapper is not supported. It looks like it tried to compile this shader and then immediately crashed. A weekly VH1 show where it was almost like Talk Soup, or The Soup, or whatever it was called. Recapped all the news and reality shit on TV. Huh. I don't remember that. Oh, Best Week. Oh, maybe it. Yeah. It's like tickling the back of my brain. I feel like I am recalling that. Anyway, how you doing? You showed up last week at the last 5 minutes, and it was a party. I gotta force quit this. Yeah, it crashed on compiling the shaders. That's really annoying. Made by the same people who made I Love the 90s, 80s. Oh, right. He was in all of those. That's right. He was in all of those. Crazy few weeks. What's going on? Oh, what's going on? Don't tell me bad news. If you need to talk, this is a safe space. But if you want to keep it to yourself, that's cool too. And if you want to text me, that's cool. Oh no. Oh no. I'm so sorry, Gonzi. I'm so sorry, Gonzi. I get it. I understand. I feel your pain. I have lots of sympathy for you. Tweak a nerve in his neck. We thought it was his foot, but the vet basically said that he holds up his paw because it might be a neck. Huh. So is he having trouble walking? Yeah, poor Cody. Why do dogs gotta do this. He did zoomies and then just yipped. No. Wouldn't put any weight on his foot. Very mopey. Went to the vet at midnight on Sunday. I gave him a pain injection. Slept okay. Went to the vet yesterday. Same thing. Pain med injection. Got some weirdo neuro pain med for him. Poor Pop. Right in the middle of the zoomies. At the height of life. And then just... That must have been really painful. He refuses to eat, which sucks. Again, we're treating him for IBS, so he's on steroids, which means he can't have any ibuprofen or Tylenol. Dog ones, of course. Right. Yeah, steroids, they just mess a dog up. They mess a human up. They want to do that for Pep too. They wanted to start her on steroids, but we didn't do it, and we opted for the surgery instead. And then they're like, well, she's gonna need steroids eventually, so I'm like, okay. Oh, so this is not new. This has happened before. How long did it take Cody to recover last time? Oh boy. Oh no. Everyone is all messed up. Set destination. About a week, but again, we thought it was his leg this time, but it might be his neck. Oh, okay. Wait, so surgery treating with payment. So last time it wasn't exactly like the same symptoms, or it's like similar, but not the same. You think it's a different thing that was tweaked. No, I know Gonzo doesn't do that. Don't you do turkey meat? Turkey or something like that. Jumped onto the deck and he definitely sprained his back leg. Okay. Well, this is not good. Yeah, that does suck. Are you going in every day for those pain injections? For those of you just joining us, we're talking about Gonzi's puppy. We're not prying into Gonzo's pain injection life. Physical therapy for dogs. Yeah, there is. Yeah, my dog did it for a year when she tore her MCL, and she went to puppy rehab. There absolutely is dog physical therapy. And she did dog acupuncture and underwater treadmill training and exercises, like out of water exercises. They got it all, and it works. Like, she basically didn't walk for a month or for a year. She didn't walk more than like her short walk outside to go to the bathroom, and now we can go on like a 2-mile walk and she's fine. very specific kibble. I thought you used to make your own food. Oh. Oh no, you can't make that food anymore. Oh, that sucks. Ganzi, I'm very sorry. This sounds incredibly stressful. Absolutely incredibly stressful. Underwater treadmill, yeah. It's basically, it's just less painful just to get the dogs walking, and it provides resistance. So it builds up muscle, and you know, they don't have to carry their own weight. Yeah. What brand of kibble is it? There's vet prescribed like fresh food. That's what our dog's on. That's what Pep's on. A vet prescribed like a vet prescribed fresh food. I don't know why. I mean, I guess IBS is something that's really particular. Maybe not all these places make IBS specific food. Oh my god. We all like Cody here. I heard some very strange things are happening. Okay. Showed up at night. Oh, the NPCs, they didn't unload. I guess that's the problem. Let's not do this cutscene and see what happens. Okay, they unload. I almost want that to happen before the cutscene starts. So they're all freaking out. They're all freaking out. That's what makes them pop away. The schedule. Thanks for sharing, Ganzi. I really hope things improve. You can find some kind of peace. Dogs are not easy when they get sick. Warp to hotspot. This is what sends them off. It really should happen immediately, though. It's very strange. Used to have a dog as a kid. I know where this is going. Tell me about your dog as a kid, or from when you were a kid. Snow. That's a cute name. I like that name. Came home from 4th grade to find out my mother gave her away. Oh no. Oh no, what happened? It was a random and I was devastated. Was snow just a handful? Oh, that sucks. That's horrible. 4th grade. Yeah, cutscenes happen too quickly. I don't think I can have cutscenes on start because yeah, it's just too fast. They need to wait a minute. They need to wait for like the game to do something. They need to wait a frame. I then went to my room and cried. It changed me forever. She was great, not problematic at all. That's horrible. I remember when my dog growing up died. He was 13, and I was like 17 or 18. I think I was 18 at the time. I was devastated. Whew. Devastated. That was the last time I cried like that much. And that was 20 years ago. Oh my god, 20 years ago. Fuck. 20 years! No! No, I was not 17. I think I was 20 at the time. I was 20. It was not 20 years ago. It was 17 years ago. Yeah, I don't have puppy cam today because she's in a weird spot and I was like kind of making a mess, so no puppy cam today unless someone redeems it and I'll turn puppy cam on. It sucked. Hell yeah, I'm sure that sucked. It's nothing worse. It's nothing worse. Oh, that was weird. So the cutscene didn't even happen now. All this should have done is waited for the end of frame and then like it should have just waited one frame and then started. I thought start could be an I enumerator. Rediet 12. Thanks for the follow. Rediet. How are you? Welcome in. Gotta be honest, I haven't gotten a new follower on stream in a couple of weeks. I feel like all followers come from post-stream raids. So congrats, Rediet. You're the first in a while. Okay, now the cutscene. Oh, I hid the cutscene. Stupid. Stupid. There we go. We're back. We're back. Alright, so it happens. Did the NPCs unload? No, they're still there. So I guess they're waiting for time to tick once, and the cutscene starts so fast and time doesn't tick for like 5 seconds. So I think I need time to tick immediately for these guys to go, oh, hey, I'm in the wrong spot. That's the only times they ever realize that they're in the wrong spot. So let's go to the... What would do that? The timekeeper can do that. Tuna, good morning. It's a very somber riffraff today. Talking about dogs and tragedies. Tragic situations. You have a cat, right? I can't remember if you said you had a cat or not. Thought you said you had a cat. Three cats, okay. I knew I remembered cats in your life. Remind me their names. Default execution is 1,000. That means it happens last. Oh no. Excuse me. Oh, the time system is actually what makes time tick, so... Luna, Pearl, Mildred. Oh, excuse me, I don't know why I'm sneezing right now. Usually I sneeze after I eat, and I have not eaten. Oh no, maybe I'm getting sick. I like those names. Mildred is very appropriate for a grumpy cat. How are you doing today, Tuna? Alright, so when does time tick for the first time? Let's see. Get current time, tick time. So tick time. It's just tick time. 87 cents. Are you doing some coupon wizardry? You're stacking coupon buffs. Also, what brand of frozen pizza are you into? That's very important. Nick. Oh God. NASA. Your pet stories are so sad. Okay, so yeah, time never ticked. Time doesn't tick until after, and it still hasn't ticked yet. Okay, there it ticks. So I think we want time to tick the second the game loads. Do we want time to tick the second the game loads? It's almost like we want to do a zero tick. Like, no time has passed, but tick time. Like, just go. Time is starting. It's not passed yet. So they were on sale, but you also got $5 worth of points for every 2. Also $5 worth of points for every 5. But only on the store brand frozen pizzas. So they're almost free if you just buy enough of them. Not preferred, but 15 cents each. I'll get over it. So my wife is a gluten intolerant, so we do the Udi's We used to do the Udi's frozen pizza. And then we discovered a pizza place around here that does really good frozen pizza. So we just stopped getting frozen pizza. You cannot beat that with a bat. Nick, welcome in. Nick, how are you doing? How was your weekend? I'll tell you a little bit about mine while you respond. My wife is like, I was kind of complaining, like, oh, I'll never finish this demo. I'm so pathetic. She's like, you're gonna finish this demo, and here's how. And she grabs my phone while we're driving, and she starts. I'm like, I just don't know what I just don't know what the demo should be. She's like, this is what the demo should be. She wrote it out in notes and bullet points. She's definitely my producer. She handed me back my phone, and I was like, oh yeah, this is the demo. Okay, I'll get started on this right away. Nick hangs out in the Hamptons. There's a good gluten-free pizza place in the Hamptons. What the hell were you doing in the Hamptons? I can't picture you there. You're a Jackson Heights boy. Huh. So on Tick, I need so all the things that ticks do. Current time. So time tick event trigger current time. So I do that actually. I do a time tick immediately. Huh. Alright. Well, that's annoying. I account for this already. My friend told me. My friend, female friends. Oh my god, girlfriends are so helpful. They are. So that's strange. So now I'm surprised why it doesn't respond to the time tick sooner. So a time tick event. Delayed start. So this does evaluate tasks, but I think it evaluates the tasks before I even... So the time tick happens on start. I have a delayed start here, which says go to your starting point. So why does that take a very, very long time? It should be 1 frame later. Go to start point. These NPCs are very stubborn. Maybe my go to start function never worked. Maybe only the first task works. That's strange. I should get a bunch of prints pretty much immediately saying go to start point. Yep, but they never did. They're still there. Interesting. So what does the warp do? Does the warp do something that I can't? So the warp says current activity null. They don't have an activity yet. Set current location. Oh, so the warp doesn't move them. The warp puts them in a state that waits for the next time tick to take them there. So I think the time tick is happening. Then I'm setting the warp. The F is squareless. What? Good morning, Mike. How are ya? Welcome. How was your weekend? The F is Roblox. What is happening? Why you keep saying the F is weird things? What does Roblox have to do with it? Why are you talking about Roblox? Get Roblox out of here. Oh, you're getting ads. Why do you gotta cause so much trouble? Just watch the ads in silence. I'm very sorry that you have to watch ads on a platform that I have no control over. So yeah, that's the problem. Go to start. Happens. Puts them in the state. And time tick happened before this. So time tick happened. And now the next time tick does not happen. 4. Maybe I can have a go to start without waiting for a time tick. Like maybe I can force it. Do you guys know about YouTube blocking ads? I'm not sure if it works the same. I can fix Cody with one swift kiss. Inappropriate, Mike. Inappropriate. I never took you to be so insensitive. So maybe I can have a force. And if it's set to force, then it just pushes them there. Like it forces them to unload immediately. Force immediate. That'll be the one. You're getting Roblox ads. That's weird. I guess it knows I'm a game dev channel. Who the hell is playing Roblox? 9-year-olds are playing Roblox. So if I did want to force immediate, I basically, instead of changing the state, I want to change the state and I want to do the state. Like I want to just say, do that state. So warp unloaded. We got motion down there. Which means traverse unloaded, minutes elapsed. And traverse unloaded, what does that do? It unloads the agent if we've never done it yet. Okay, so all I gotta do, there we go. This is good. I need to traverse unloaded. I just need to call this. Warp unloaded. What is warp unloaded? Wait a minute. Okay. So warp unloaded is what we call. And this is actually the only place we use it. And what that does is it sends them there instantly. I see. And then we set their current location. We do a traversal tick of minutes elapsed, which basically pegs it at 100%, which means we're already there. That's why it's 999. And then if the goal is reached, which it will be because 999 is 10 times more than necessary, then we reach hotspot. Okay, so just calling this. Calling this will take care of it, and then will be change state activity. And their activity will be wherever they are. Okay. We're making progress. Warp to hotspot. So, oh yeah, I see. So I used to do this, but now I had this special state added. If force immediate. If force immediate, then just fucking do it. Traverse unloaded state. Why are these? No. That wasn't it. is this one. I need the I have 2 of these. I have 2 of these. And there should be, yeah, there's 2 overloads. So the first one is, I need the timekeeper, which, get time. Nope. And then minutes elapsed. So let's just say 999 minutes elapsed. That'll force them immediately. The ad had 20-year-olds playing Roblox on MetaQuest 3. That's never gonna happen. I did play my MetaQuest 2, or Amanda's MetaQuest 2 the other day for the first time in a really long time. Beat Saber's still fun, and it's still the #1 game. They're basically surviving from one single game, and that is Beat Saber. Not a single other game has ever reached any kind of success. Just Beat Saber. That's it. That's the only one. The whole thing is only for Beat Saber. Alright, so now in the scheduler. Nope, not the scheduler. The NPC schedule. Where is that? NPC schedule. So instead of warping to hotspot, we want to... oh, okay, so actually, instead of forcing... Let's default it to false. So it looks like this doesn't even need a force. This already pops them into a position if it's loaded. So that's totally fine. It's just the unloaded state that waits for a time tick. Okay. So now, warp to start. Why do I have a warp to start and then a delayed start that warps them to start? Why do I have 2? Because when the new day happens, it does it again. And this is the same exact code, so let's just say warp to start. Right? Of course. And we want to force that shit. Okay. So the whole reason I'm doing this is because I was getting a bunch of errors from every single NPC saying, wah, I don't know what to do. Wah, I'm broken. And I think it's because I initialized the cutscene while they were in the middle of waiting for something. And then when the cutscene ended, something happened. So I need to get them out of here real quick. Just get them out of here. Whoa. Oh, they hated that. They hated that so much. Get remaining distance. Why were any of them even trying to set a path? Has path. From what script? From what script were you calling paths? Set pause. Pause agent. Pause system. Who was calling the pause? The cutscene was calling the pause. It's almost like they were trying to unpause. That's weird. Pause has path. So, oh, yeah. So has path. If agent equals null, right? Oh, right. So if agent is not enabled, return false. Okay, fixed. You should link the NPCs up to ChatGPT so they can write their own dialogues. A lot of games are doing that now, but I don't want to do that. You have to pay every time you ping a server, basically. You know, if you keep it live, if you do live API calls, you have to pay per. Oh, why is it raining? That's crazy. Wait, where's Eugene? Damn it. Okay, that's good. So nobody's here, but Eugene's gone. Eugene popped away. So now we have to pop Eugene back. Oh wait, look at that. He's right here. So he did pop back, but he didn't but his nav mesh was turned off. I gotta keep an eye on Eugene, see what's going on. So the other NPCs are all fine now. That was a big bug. Now I just have to figure out why Eugene isn't fine. He's got all those things here. And I'm gonna follow. What do I want to watch? I want to watch the. I want to watch his position, see where he goes, because he should shoot up to 1,000 and then come back down immediately. There's some kind of order of operations error going on. Yeah, he's at 1,000. Now he's back. And let me pause it. So he's there. And interestingly enough, he's facing in the correct direction. But something is disabling his nav mesh agent, even though it gets turned on. Like if I turn this on right now, does he catch up? No. Looks like the set destination never worked. I changed a lot today, and I don't like everything I changed. I'm not sure if it's. Not sure if it was worth it. This is kind of proving to me that I should just have cutscene NPCs and leave these NPCs alone. Their logic is very complicated. So, should I make a cutscene specific version of the NPC, load them up, and then unload them and get on with my life? Or should I figure this out for a few more minutes? What do you guys think? So I toggle them here. I'm definitely toggling them off. All right, it's decided. I'm gonna have an NPC specific, or just a special cutscene NPC. And after a cutscene, we're gonna fade to black every time, and the NPCs are just gonna disappear. They're not gonna scatter or disperse from the cutscene. They are going to just magically go back to whatever they were doing. And if I ever want to change that, maybe the simpler thing to do is to warp them after fade to black. Unload the NPC, the cutscene NPC, warp the real NPC to their place, and then they can go about their day from there. But right now we're just going to do the cutscene specific NPC. So that means this thing has a lot of code in it that does not need to happen anymore. I want to undo. So first things first. I do like that I instantly warped everyone, because they were just chilling there while this cutscene was happening, and that was probably not good. So I do like that. The fact that this is now a delayed start, I don't know if I like that. See, that's a good question. Am I okay with this? I'm gonna leave it for now. I'm gonna leave it until something happens that's not good. Maybe I should have a checkbox, delay or not delay. Because I think I want so there's a fade in, that is a cutscene. And I don't want the fade in to be delayed, I want that to be immediate because I don't want the screen to flash black. I want it to be black to begin with, so. Cutscene options. One more option, right? Bool delayed start equals false. So. Okay, so init cutscene. If delayed start, do the coroutine and wait a frame. Else, just init that thing. Okay. Oh, it's really this actually. I think I want to do all this immediately always. It's this I want to delay. This play timeline, right? Yeah. I always want to init immediately. So init cutscene. And then here delayed start or delayed play, right? Play timeline. If delayed start, else. There we go. All right, it's a little cleaner. So this always initializes. Oh, okay. So interesting. All right, that doesn't happen every time. Done. So if it's delayed start, we wait a frame, then play, or we play it. So things like fading screens, we do not wait. Things like taking control of NPCs, we do wait. Ooh, the ad had 20. You should link. I once helped my sister write an angry letter to her manager in the style of Richard Gilmore using ChatGPT. Did she use it? Using Richard Gilmore. Angry letter. She did not. But I told it to use as much business jargon as possible. So I have a theory that, and I feel like it started with millennials, that our need for education is just like dropping because since the internet exists, like I always knew the internet existed, so I feel like I already know everything. All I gotta do is find it, you know? Like it's there. I don't need to retain it. I know it's out there. And I know I can go get it. And I think that feeling is doubling down in like the newer generations. Like, okay, now like Gen Z, the internet existed by the time they were conscious. So that feeling of just knowing they can get any information they need is out there. You just got to know how to find it. It's even stronger. And now with AI, it's like, not only do you not have to find it, you barely have to, you just got to like type it and you get back such detailed results, and that feeling of not needing to know anything. It's American culture. I mean, I think that aspect of it might be global, or maybe just some cultures. That's why America was discovered, and that's why they went west. That feeling of knowing everything. That's so that should, so the fade in, not delayed. Cutscene opening demo, delayed start. We know something is out there. We just gotta find it. Oh, that. I guess it's similar. Although there was ambition to do that. I feel like the feeling I'm talking about is it actually creates the lack of ambition, because you know it's there when you need it. So you don't have to like seek anything. You just know it's there. It's like a laziness. All right, so where the hell was Eugene this time? Oh, right. I'm not gonna use Eugene anymore. Eugene's out. Now I gotta get a new Eugene. So I need versions of this NPC that is just the visuals. Visuals and animation controller. Okay. Oh no, now I need versions of every NPC. Can I make it such that they don't have logic? Oh, what I could do is I can have another base. Oh, poor puppy. Oh, very sleepy doggy. And so I'm gonna, before I go crazy and do this with every NPC, we're just gonna do this with one. What I need to do is make a base NPC that, here they are. Oh wait, these are the scriptable objects, resources. We want NPC prefabs, here we go. So we want a new generic, which I'll start with basic, because they have all the stuff I need. So we'll do generic. So it's basically a cutscene generic. And what makes up a cutscene generic? They are not savable. They do not have properties. I don't think they need properties, and they definitely don't need a schedule. Now, what's in a generic cutscene? Thought canvas. I might want to populate a little thought bubble on them, so I'll leave the thought canvas. Quest listeners, not needed. Decor blocker. Do I need them to block decorations? No, they only exist in non-playable times. A random character generator? They don't need a random character generator, because their definition is going to be defined already. Visuals. Yes, they'll make up these visuals. Okay, now what do they need here? Do they need a navigation controller? I don't think so. Do they need a capsule collider? No. Remove. Do they need a rigid body? I don't think so. Do nav mesh agents need rigid bodies? I don't think so. Do they need a dialogue helper script? That's a good question. Do they need an item requester? No. Remove. Do they need this cutscene navigation script? No. They don't need that anymore. That's just for the player. Do they need NPC locomotion state machine? No, this is the one that's causing me so much problem. Get out of here. Adjust, what? I'm editing a clip, sorry. I'm editing a clip. A stand-up clip. The lighting on stage, it makes him look very, very bright. How do I make him look normal on Final Cut? You could, yeah, adjust levels and exposure. Since it's probably shot on the iPhone, it's possible that those clipped values in white, there's no information there, so when you bring it back down, he's just going to look gray. Or she. I don't know what kind of clip you're making. He or she will just look gray, unfortunately. So, you might want to infuse a little color in there, too. Color, saturation, exposure. That's all I got. Yeah, exposure. So when you pull back the exposure, what does it look like? So this stuff's missing. I don't think I need properties. Remove component. Right? Yeah. I'll put it back when I need it. I just want to strip it out from everything. So NPC nav. NPC nav sets destinations, warps agents, removes destinations, toggles agents, reaches destinations, has path. These are the things that NPC navs have. So this is all related to them moving around and pausing them. I don't need it. Because moving them around now is controlled by the timeline. Pulling down the exposure. Okay, so you want to do it. If you don't want the curtain to go gray, or so you want the black curtain to stay the light value that it is, but you don't want you want the person who's super bright to come down only. So you want to go to the levels, and you want to increase the white value clip so that the black values don't change, and then you only move up. So you drag the white up so that it changes the threshold of what should be white. And then, yeah. I mean, I don't know what Final Cut looks like, but just pull sliders until it looks right. Pull all the sliders. Pull them all. It's almost like I want NPC visuals to be another sub. There's two animators. Do I need two animators? I have this animator and then I have this animator. This animator doesn't do shit. This animator does everything. But since this animator has no runtime controller... Oh wait, they both have animator player. Yeah, this one has no runtime controller. That means I don't think it does anything. Alright, let's just leave it for now. So do I want to make sub prefabs of every NPC and then put them where they need to be? So it's one consistent custom character definition. I think so. Let's do that. Where is this? Yeah, NPC visuals. So let's organize these prefabs a little bit. And let's just make a folder called visuals. Put this in here. This is now the NPC visuals. The underscore indicates that it is a parent, and we will make variants, prefab variants of all the NPCs so that I can have different prefabs all look the same. And I'm just going to do this for Eugene for now. Oh, you know what? That actually causes some issues. Who needs to know about this visual? I don't think anybody. Because this animator controls it. All you gotta do is plop this in here and it works. Alright, this might actually be really good. So create. Prefab variant. We'll call it Eugene Visuals. And all we need to do is grab Eugene. Basic Eugene. And copy his visuals. And they are located in, copy the char def, copy, and then Eugene visuals, we paste here, paste, and then open up, okay, so we want to delete this. We want to bring in Eugene visuals, put them here, and then assemble. Bam, looks exactly like Eugene. Pop back out, get rid of NPC visuals. And I'm actually going to hide this too because I don't know if I need it yet. I might, but I don't know. So cutscene generic. Oh, this is cutscene generic. What am I doing? Cutscene generic should actually have no visuals. Just these assets, these elements that we need. And then, so then I need new versions of everyone. So I'm gonna make a new folder of basic. Basic generic. A new folder of guest. Will Yeti be added to the DLC? That's kind of fun. Guest generic. And now cutscene. Cutscene generic. Okay. So, what does this mean? This means I want to make a prefab variant of Red Dead did it with Bigfoot. Well, I'll need a cuter version of that. Like Tiny Toe. Maybe there's a tiny toe running around and it looks like a little gnome. Okay, so cutscene Eugene. So in cutscene Eugene, all I need to do is bring in Eugene's visuals. You have to kill most of them scattered all over the big map, and then you find the last one in the mountains. He's sitting in a tree, or sitting at a tree. You go up to him and he talks to you and basically says, "You killed my entire family, so just kill me, and then you can kill him if you want." It's brutal. I'm so hungry. Did you play the new Red Dead? Did you play Red Dead 2? Amar recently found something very interesting on Red Dead. I played Red Dead 2 for like maybe like 5 hours, 6 hours. And the game was just so big and the cutscenes were so long, and traveling from one place to another on horseback took forever. And I was like, you know what? I don't have time for this. Story is amazing. The voice acting is amazing. The motion capture is amazing. Everything is amazing. I just didn't have time to play a 60-hour narrative-heavy game where very rarely it got into any action. Spent 3 hours on a mission and they give you 80 cents. Yep. I think so Red Dead 1, amazing, right? Red Dead 2, they just, I don't know, for me, too much detail, too real. Like, it was too much. Let's see, I lost my save game, had to start over. The intro takes 90 minutes to play before you can get to the open world. So effing annoying. And then I put in all the cheats and terrorized. Of course you did. It cost like $250. And you did a big online mission that you would pay $15. I googled to see how much rifles were back then. They were $12. You had to pay, like, are you talking real weapons or in-game currency? So Eugene visuals should just plop right in. They don't reference anything outside of the visuals. Everything's top down. Oh, a real rifle cost $12 back in 1800s. In-game was $250. Oh, well, they were just making up random prices that worked with the game logic. The game loop. Nick, what are you talking about? I feel like you want to say something right now. Alright, so Cutscene Eugene now uses Eugene visuals. And Cutscene Eugene, what will Cutscene Eugene do to basically break the game? The animation controller does nothing except control the animation. The interactable, oh, yeah, we don't want this. So let's go back into the base. We do not need, no, not visuals. Cutscene base, generic, yep. We do not want them to be interactable. Remove. Okay, so dialogue system trigger. We don't need that. That starts their start conversation, and we never want that. So the dialogue helper. This will... What will this do technically? This is the thing that replaces keywords. Interesting. Does this happen for every NPC? No. This is only called on the transforms. So I actually need this desperately because these are the things that are going to trigger the conversations. So the dialogue actor, it's necessary. And it needs to be set to whatever the NPC is. So this is set to debug basic, but this needs to be set to Eugene. I think I know what NASA found. Well, is it appropriate for stream? I feel like Nick's getting at something that's not appropriate, but please share. What'd you find in Red Dead? And is this Red Dead 1 or Red Dead 2? So the visuals are fine. Cutscene version of Eugene. We need to set this to be basic. Basic Eugene. Okay. I think that's it. So the only thing we ever need to change is we need to drop the NPC's visuals in, set their dialogue actor name, and that's it. One day I was playing Red Dead, and I was riding my horse on a warm summer night. I noticed what seems like a fire in the middle of the woods. Okay. I get closer. I feel like I know where this is going. Maybe not. I don't know. Oh, I see a group of men. Is this part of the game? Like, if you're describing part of the game, that's fine. Or is this like online? Just like what freaks were doing. Please preface before you drop whatever you're about to say. No, this is in the game. All right, if it's in the game, we could talk about it. What were they ritualistically doing? Okay, so now I want to add cutscene Eugene to this cutscene. And in the timeline, I don't want to use real Eugene anymore. I want to use cutscene Eugene. Let's lock this up. And we change that with this. Change that here. Oh, everything's called NPC Geo Group. That's very confusing. NPC Geo Group. I get off my horse. I get a bit closer. I knew it wouldn't be good, so I grabbed a few sticks of dynamite I found in a mine. This is very good storytelling, by the way. As I get... Oh, no! I know this is part of the game, but... You're on thin ice right now. Thin ice! About to get muted. What kind of KKK activities were they up to? I don't know. Maybe we don't keep going. Maybe we just leave it a cliffhanger. I see. And then you murdered them all. And happy ending. Go for it. You can tell the rest of your story. Alright, let's see. So now Eugene isn't a part of this. Real Eugene, not a part of this. I need to go to basic and get rid of the cutscene script. Remove. Unneeded. So now nobody has that anymore. Were they magic wizards? There was one wizard. Oh. If you're part of the KKK out here in my chat, this isn't the place for you. Okay, so now that's happening. Why is that happening? So Eugene's there. But not animating. Why isn't Eugene animating? Cutscene Eugene. Everything's on. It's possible they're getting flicked off by something. Let's see. You can finish your story, Mara. Oh god. Oh good. It gives me the option to block it or not. Let's see. So as I'm about 10 yards away, they start to light a cross on fire, and one of the morons fell into the fire, and that's when I threw 2 sticks of dynamite into the middle of the group. I'll allow it. And I wasn't looking at the screen, so I don't know if that worked or not. I burned and shot every single one of them. Well, this is a complicated area we're talking about right now. Yeah, Red Dead is full of that kind of like controversial behavior. Like, oh, do you want to just murder a group of people? They're bad people, but would you like to? Go for it. Why isn't the animator actually functioning? It's because the cutscene controller was controlling the animation. So I now need the cutscene controller on these guys. Or cutscene. Yes. So they need the cutscene controller. Cutscene nav. They don't need the properties anymore. They just need their own transforms. Agent, animation controller, and I'm pretty sure transform is just self, right? What is transform? Yeah, it's just themselves. Why do I even save it? Just transformed, I'll look at it. I don't need this. I don't need you anymore. Oh, yes I do. It's because the player, this is not part of the player's main thing, so. Okay, so we'll just cache that, if it's not. I have pictures to prove this happened. I'm not sure what they were doing, but I knew it wasn't good for me. No. I believe you. I haven't done this in a while. First of all, if you've never been here before, you're new to this stream, welcome. My name is Andrew. I'm working on an indie life sim, Innkeeper-Sim. Now, what is an Innkeeper-Sim, you may ask? It's a bit of a mixture between Stardew Valley and The Sims, where you can build an inn from scratch. And the activities are, pretty casual. There's farming. There's photography. There's fishing. There's a bustling town full of NPCs with storylines and quests. Please wishlist on Steam if you'd like. The link. Oh, Gonzi, thank you. I want to see the pictures. Nick, please send Mike the pictures of the scene. Also, feel free to follow. I do this every Tuesday and Thursday, starting at about... Now, I've been starting pretty consistently at 6:30, 9:30 Eastern Time. U.S. Eastern Time. 6:30 in the morning Pacific Time. And I do this Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I go until 9 o'clock Pacific, 12 o'clock Eastern. Because I have a day job. And that is when I need to start my day job. I'm a visual effects artist by day, indie game dev by early morning. Because I don't actually work on this much at night. I'm too tired. Especially with the big move coming up. I'm way too tired to work on this at night. So now it's only early morning game dev. There should be a Funko Pop collecting as well. And you can buy a Funko Pop of every character you meet. It's funny, there's a game called Ooblets that basically has that. It's a monster collecting game where you do, it's like, instead of battling your monsters like fighting, you do dance battles. It's an incredible game. Highly recommend. But every time you collect a new Ooblet, you can get a figurine made from them, and there's like a figurine collection system, which is really satisfying. All right, so what was the final thing I needed to do? Right, their animations were not being activated because the cutscene animator was taken away. So I need to put that back, and I need to take out all this code that's like, if I'm this NPC, do this, if I'm that. If they exist, then... So I actually don't need to... I don't need to send NPCs anymore. And I want to do this every time. There's no reason to ever not do this anymore. Okay. You guys should follow each other on social media. He has such a good Insta name. I actually forget. I forget his Insta name. Oh, that's why. Yeah, Mike Lombardo, what happened to your internet presence? Oh, I missed it. Did Eugene walk? Did you guys see Eugene walk? Did you? Oh, Eugene walks! Yay! Eugene walks. Okay, so I can finally move on with my life. Eugene walks. Basically, what this also means is anytime there's a cutscene with an NPC, I need to fade to black and get rid of whoever's on the screen. So let's start there. What happened to my internet presence? It looks like you're about to murder Eugene. Well, the rain and the darkness doesn't help. Let's reset that. Okay, so I want to test this for a while. I don't want this to save, so please don't save. On start, play once, destroy if played. So I do want to destroy if played. And controls playable player. Wait a minute. Player included. I already had a checkbox for this. God damn it. I don't need this player included. I'm so stupid. Let me get rid of that. Controls playable player. So yeah, it looks like I grabbed the player and I forced the player to do what I want it to do. But then, this most recent edition of code, I throw an event and I let the player go, oh, hey, that's me. So what is the better way? Is it to grab the player and to force it to do what I want? Or is it to let the player decide what it wants to do based on whether or not I ask it to? I think the asking is the nice thing to do. So controls playable player. So this animator enabled equals true. I actually don't need to do that anymore because the cutscene script does that. I'm gonna leave it right now because I don't want to break everything. But what I will do is just get rid of that bool by, oops. What was that? Player included now. So controls playable player. Player included, switch you out, okay. Now I don't have double bools. And then the NPCs, I don't need the NPCs anymore, but I'm gonna leave it just in case. I'm not entirely confident that I want to remove that yet. Feel free to add me on Instagram too. Mossy Grove Games. Is it an @ sign? I forget how it works. Nope. Nope, it's definitely Alpine Lake game. There it is. Feel free to follow Alpine Lake game on Instagram. I kind of enjoyed making the last my last post. It's not your internet presence, it's your name. Like, what happened to your nickname? You had nicknames. I mean, I use my real name in Discord, but I use Booyah Grandma for pretty much everything else. You know, 99% of people our generation use some kind of nickname. So how did you break that and just go Mike Lombardo everywhere? Were you trying to be professional after college? Alright, so that's cleaned up. I don't need both of those. Because I was ridiculed for 15 years when I would be at a 182. Yeah, that's not a good one. You formed an alliance with an emo band and you got bit. You formed a soul pack. Alright, so I actually don't need these NPC states in the core scene anymore, but I'll leave them there because that's fine. It is 8:20. We're making good time. we're making great time. I almost got one character being deleted. So we actually want to fade to black before the end of the timeline and fade from black after the timeline's completed now. And I don't think we need to fade from black at the start of the timeline because there's a separate cutscene that does that. Okay. Fade in. This fade in is 1 second. I want to make this fade in 3 seconds. Let's see if it's clean, throws no errors, does everything I'm expecting. I want all the fades to happen. I want Eugene to be deleted after the cutscene happens. There was a little bit of a pop there. Good morning. Thank you so much for responding to my ad and joining the Innkeep trial period. All right, so I do want to change that dialogue. Disappear. Look at that. Boom. And then the tutorial pops up. Yay. That was great. That's exactly what I wanted. And then everything got deleted. So there's nothing left. Do I want to just delete the whole cutscene, or do I want to delete the children and leave the cutscene around? I think I need to delete... Okay, no, there's a reason why. I need the cutscene to stick around so that it knows... So it could save whether or not it completed. So it absolutely needs to stick around. Oh, I'm getting cold. Is anybody else cold? I don't have my hat. I need to go hooded. I need to be hooded for a second. Okay, I have control. All right, is anybody throwing errors? That was the problem last time too. Nobody's throwing errors. I think we're good. Okay, now I can do freaking cutscenes. The characters can walk around. I don't have to hand animate them. So what? Now I can make this cutscene. So this cutscene is going to have conversation, starting the player off on their journey. Let's write it. Let's write it in Miro. Whoop. Let's sign in first. Don't want you guys to see my password. It's basically a bunch of dots. All right, let's do it. Let's write a conversation. A demo conversation. All right, let's see. I already kind of started it. So the theory is we're not doing the dream anymore. Mike, I praised you earlier for reminding me that if I make the demo very whimsical, that I got to make the real game very whimsical to match. And in an effort to avoid that situation, we're going to change the story. It's not going to be a dream anymore. This is basically a 2-week trial period where you signed up for this like in-keeping boot camp where you have 2 weeks, and the demo will end after 2 weeks. Basically, once the calendar reaches the second week, there's going to be like a going away party. So if you reach the end of the demo, there'll be a big party cutscene. Can you have them converse about the fires in the woods at night? Like, just reference that story right now. Let's put it in the... Okay, that's kind of funny. How's that? There's a real Alpine Lake resort. Yeah, Alpine Lake is it's a very common name. But I have been noticing that if you Google Alpine Lake game, I am the only thing that shows up. So there is that. And soon, if the game ever gets popular, then you'll only need to search Alpine Lake, and you won't need to search Alpine Lake game. You know, it's the phrase Alpine Lake, it's just so common that it's going to be really hard to beat that in search engine optimization, but we'll see. If you Google Mike Lombardo, you get a pedophile, and after all the commotion about him, you might find one thing about me. Yeah, that's messed up. So, let's see, what is this conversation going to be? It's going to be, I need to get into the character of Eugene for a second. So, if you'll allow me to just ignore chat for a minute. I got a new follow from a name I cannot pronounce because is that... I don't want to guess what that is. I feel like it looks Korean, but I don't know. I actually don't know what that is. But thanks for following. Feel free to tell me where you're from because I don't know what those characters were. If there's one thing that breaks the getting into the character, it's the follow notification. But I appreciate that more than having to write this conversation. Thank you. Let's see. How do I start this game? So I already did write something. That'll get me going. So I have Eugene's demo conversation. No, I have demo conversations here. Eugene tutorial start. Good morning, new friend. Good morning. Hope your trip here was... Yeah, Eugene would never say good friend. It's just not him. Would you consider adding a scene in your game like the one Amar just described to us? No. I will not. You know, maybe a group of people having a fun, nice campfire in the middle of the woods? Yes. The one described? No. All right. So I'm gonna frame this like you applied for this trial period to be this town's innkeeper and to start this project. I'm thinking in exchange for the promise to run the inn, you basically get the property for free. And that is just... Is there something more unique and more interesting that we can go with? Rejuvenate it. How do you spell rejuvenate? Huh. Rejuvenate. I've been... Okay, Alpine Lake can really, let's see, Alpine Lake really could use some, no. Alpine Lake could really use some help bringing tourists back. I don't like the phrasing. Alpine Lake can really use some help bringing tourists back. And if there's nowhere to stay, there will be no tourists. Yeah, this is not a good writer. And I never claimed to be. I'll just leave it for now. Here's everything you need to get going. If you have any questions, please consult the manual. All right, so let's just implement this. And then at the end of this, well, instead of saying, here's everything you need to get going, maybe I'll have a conversation. Here's a bunch of tools. Okay, yeah. So some folks in town have donated some useful. Here are your tools. Here are some tools which will get you going. Clearing this debris. Also, once the debris is cleared, I placed in your mailbox. Should I do the mailbox thing again? Because this is what I do in the real game. I send I send a letter with those things. I guess that's a really quick way to teach them how to use the mailbox. I'm not sure if I'm going to use the mailbox in the demo, but I'll just do the same thing. I'll be consistent. Also, once the debris is cleared, some debris is cleared, check your mailbox for building supplies. We sure could use some help getting tourists back here. Our town has really taken a turn ever since the brand new Whelp Mart opened up. Things really haven't been the same. Personally, I still blame... You know, you had a real thing going for a second. So I will say, The Eugene is kind of referencing Raymond Holt from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's kind of my inspiration for him. So he has like this quiet seriousness to him, but can be playful in a very serious way. There's a subtlety there, and I'm not a good writer, so it's hard for me to hit it, but it does need to be a little proper. Captain Raymond Holt. Exactly. I gotta rewatch Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Why is weak spelled incorrect? Why doesn't it know the word for weak? Can someone help me? What is happening? How long do you think it'll take this channel to hit 100 followers? So we've been going since, I think I started streaming at the end of July, early August, and we're at 82. It's been like 4 months. Is that good or bad? Probably, I don't know. Probably fine. How long do you think it'll take to hit 100? Still blaming Obama. Nick, no one's blaming Obama for anything here. Too weak. Well, I do like some of the things you said. But there is no Welt Mart. There is actually something else going on. If there's nowhere to stay, there will be no tourists. So that's where you come in. Thank God you're here. Alpine Lake is being terrorized by the ghosts of... You always come up with something fun that I can't use. Oh, the man who hunted people for sport, of course. We sentence him to the chair. We need you to rebuild the grass. Why do you do this to me? Why do you do this to me? You guys want murder in the game so bad. This is a wholesome, cozy game. Come on! I do want one line in there that does indicate that something's going on. I want to indicate... You don't get some tourists. So there is like that idea that the town is going to be purchased by this company. There's like an energy company, and they dwell in the mountains. Cease to exist. Good morning. I hope your trip here was pleasant. The view on the bus ride up can be quite beautiful this early in the morning. Thanks for joining us for this 2-week trial period. I've been looking for someone to take over the old inn property and rejuvenate it. Alpine Lake can really use some help bringing tourists back. If we don't get some tourists soon, I'm afraid this town might cease to exist. And if there's nowhere to stay, it'll all be over. So that's where you come in. Some folks in town have donated supplies to get you started. Here are some tools which will get you going. Here are some tools which will help to clear this debris. Also, once some debris is cleared, check your mailbox for building supplies. If you have any questions, please consult the quick start guide or get confused. Running an inn for dum-dums. This is the title. Opening an inn for dum-dums. All right, let's put this in there. It's a long conversation, so this cutscene might take a minute. Now it's just copy paste. Copy. Paste. Copy. Paste. Create new node. No. Create child node. Create child node. Create child node. Create child node. Okay. Switch. Do I want the player to actually respond to anything? I don't think so. I might want to fish for some reasonings. If you don't mind me asking, what made you decide to join us? So what should the options be? If I'm going to ask the player, why did they do this? What are the options? What are different options? So, escape the city. My mom made me. I honestly don't remember. I might have been drunk when I did it. No, I can't do that. What, I want to get a teen rating instantly? All right, these are going to be the three options. My parents made me. Okay. Do I have two spaces here? Yes. Okay, so now I need some player responses. Shout out to Pixel Crushers. This dialogue system is so good. Escape the busy city. My parents made me. Ooh, I should have one more. My reasons are private. And then I need a response for each one. I'll just write that here. Escape the busy city. My parents made me. I honestly don't remember. Or... Let's see. What would Eugene say to someone who doesn't remember why they're here? Well, I probably can say the same thing. Well, I hope. No. This is weird. I'm actually kind of curious what ChatGPT would say to this. Let's see. If a town mayor inspired by Raymond Holt of Brooklyn Nine-Nine asked a contest winner why they applied to be an innkeeper, and they responded, I don't remember. What would Raymond say back? This is going to be a weird one. Oh, that's incredible. Wow. Innkeeping is a serious business. It requires meticulous attention to detail, a keen sense of organization, a deep commitment to service. I would hope that a contest winner would have a better reason than I don't remember taking such responsibility. Oh, it's crucial that you understand the gravity of the position you've won. Think about it and come back with more. That's great. I love that. Ah, oh, ChatGPT, you're so creative. So creative when others cannot be. I like that. It's really good, right? So let's simplify it and make it a little happier. It's a serious business that requires a meticulous attention to detail. Hopefully. Over time, you remember why. Come to enjoy yourself here. Okay. There's like, so this line, I like this line because it's serious and it's almost scolding you, but at the same time it's accepting you and just, you know, whatever. I think it's a good amount of confusion. Because you're not going to really understand who this character is right away. You know, these characters will open up over time. Should I do this for all the responses? Should I do this for every conversation? No. Escape the busy city. My reasons are private. I can respect that. Let's see. Okay. So I hope this turns out to be enjoyable anyway. Yeah, I don't think he would. I think he would be more scolding if someone just said my parents made me. I'm asking ChatGPT what would it be? Your parents made you, you say? Well, I suppose that's one way to find a career path. It's important to be driven by your own motivations and passions. But if you're here now, let's make the best of it. Wow. That's so scolding. Do I really want to scold people the second they enter this game? I could scold them for like 5 words and then reverse it. All right. Yeah, that's true. Let's work on honing your innkeeping skills. There we go. That's very nice. That's, oh my God. I'm just gonna, should I just copy and paste this? This is perfect. Ah, I see. Escaping the chaos of the city for the serenity of innkeeping. An interesting choice. It's crucial to seek a change when life becomes overwhelming. Just remember, innkeeping also comes with its own set of challenges. It may not always be tranquil as tranquil as you expect, but it's a respectable reason to be here. Let's focus on making this transition as smooth as possible, shall we? Oof. What if the old innkeeper lives out in the mountains and trains you like a master Miyagi? They do. So in the main game, there's a character, Paul, who lives in the woods. And when you meet him, he basically is like, oh, I didn't think I'd ever actually meet you. I'm the one that sold you the property. So in the main game, you're not really given the property, you buy it. It's a little long. I'm gonna copy and paste it, but I'm just gonna take some stuff out. Escaping the chaos of the city. I might just keep that. You wonder who he did that after? Yeah. It's not a secret. It's pretty obvious. He should become a werewolf. There goes Mike again, being creative and whimsical. Quirky Durky Mike. Paul loves wolves. Either commit or get off the pot. It's definitely Paul Bunyan. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Paul Bunyan, the woodsman. Gotta go. Great stream today. Have you seen any weirdly dressed dudes in the woods burning objects? Below them and take pictures. All right, NASA. Take it easy. Thanks for hanging. Oh, it's 8:53. Oh, yeah, it's time to go. All right, but I think I really like the progress made today. So we got a whole system for getting NPCs in cutscenes, walking around, not wreaking havoc and causing a lot of bugs. There's a little bit of manual labor of creating all these extra NPCs, but I think it's going to be good. It's going to abstract the way the NPCs look, and they'll all derive from one place. So if I need guests and townspeople and cutscene NPCs, I only have to change where they look, like what they look like in one place. It's gonna be great. You CG guys hate manual labor. LOL. Ha ha ha. Hells yeah, we do. Yeah, if we can make a tool to do it for us, why not? That being said, let's find someone to raid. Twitch. Who's online right now? It's always the same people, and not many. People do not like to stream during this time. And I notice at like 9:05, so many people start. I feel like basically in 5 minutes, everyone's about to start their streams, but I always have to end like a few minutes early, so I can never raid those people. Maybe let's raid someone new. We could raid someone new. Let's find someone. I have to vet them by watching their ads first. This person is modeling in Blender. Get a lot of modelers. All right, let's do it. Let's go to this completely random stream that we've never been to before. I hope you all have a great Tuesday, and I'll be back Thursday. Can we put the names of friends in this game? A big redhead guy named Eric. Oh, there'll definitely be a big redhead guy named Eric. All right, I'll see you all soon. See you all Thursday. Have a great rest of your week. Peace.